Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Mindful Marathon Conversations. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Quirk. I'm a pediatrician and a run coach and the founder of Mindful Marathon, where I help make running easy and fun for busy professionals. And today I have a very special guest with me. I'm really looking forward to our conversation. I'm here with Dr. Ngozi Ude. She is a board-certified family medicine physician in West Virginia. And she is the owner of Apple Valley Family Medicine and Aesthetic Practice. So welcome to the show, Dr. Ude.
Yay, thank you. It's so fun to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. And today, we were talking beforehand, and today we're going to talk about self-care as a superpower. And I love that idea and kind of leading in with that. But maybe tell us a little bit about your journey, and then we can kind of go into how we start this self-care regimen.
Sure. So for me, I'm a board certified family medicine physician. I'm a wife. My husband's also a physician, mother of three school-age kids, a business owner. And so life is an adventure, right? And so I was definitely, I still work a lot and I enjoy my work because it gives me purpose. But I think that for the longest time, especially when I started my career, I hadn't, gotten married and I hadn't had kids. And so I think that mindset that you have when you get started and family hasn't become part of it, I kind of was stuck in that for a while. And so that, slowing down a bit, making sure that every part of your life, especially the most important part of your life, which is family and kids and husband, I didn't quite at the beginning know how to put them in where they truly belonged, which was right smack in the center. And so it's something that I figured out later on. And so, by all, I guess by all means, I appeared, successful and all that, but on the inside, I was exhausted and I wasn't necessarily as happy as I could have been,
Mhm.
because prioritizing what needed to be prioritized. So that's why, this is such a big deal because there are a lot of, busy working professional moms specifically out there that have a lot to offer, and just trying to figure out how to make sure that the most important part of their lives are, I guess, being recognized and being fulfilled while being purposeful and giving of ourselves to others.
Yeah,
So
yeah. No, I love that. And a lot of what you say, I mean, this resonates, and I just have this image of like it's like being on the treadmill and you don't know how to get off sometimes. And like really kind of keeping what's important in front of you. And sometimes in the day-to-day in our busy lives, it's easy to just get off track and be busy in all of the things.
that's it. So yeah, so I think for me, yes, once I was able to figure out, look, be proactive, set things up, slow down enough to enjoy this, amazing life that you're building for yourself.
Yeah, yeah. And my whole thing with running is all about slowing down to enjoy the process.
That's it. Absolutely. To enjoy,
Yeah,
not, and it's the journey.
that's
Yes.
right. That's right. Yep. Well, how if we have a lot of busy professionals, busy moms listening. How do you start to kind of figure out your priorities? Maybe you know them, but like, do you recommend a journaling process or taking some time to like really kind of think about your life in different, I don't know, like different categories and what's important?
That's a great question. So I think a big one for me was learning to be proactive. I feel like for me personally, I was more proactive on the work end. If you had a scheduled meeting or if you had this and that, that was on my calendar. But when it came to, hey, vacation and, school stuff, I figured that I would be able to get it fit in. And so it's actually supposed to be the other way around. That should be the first thing that makes it on your schedule. So to me, the number one thing is being proactive, planning ahead. And so recently what I've been doing is, making sure that, vacation time for the family, because that's what will happen to me when it's time to take a vacation. Then it's like this tug of war of trying to figure out and reschedule things, to make it happen versus, if you had done that at the beginning of the year and nothing else would crowd in. So taking the time, vacations, putting them on the schedule. The other big one that I've been doing that's been really helpful is planning the week ahead. And I think that also with running, but this is also in personal life, like, at the beginning of the week, all your family things, time with the kids, because I always want to make sure I'm spending quality time with my kids that are, uninterrupted. And then sometimes I even have it stack with it. So maybe, for example, my workout, I might do a dancing routine or a YouTube video with my kids. And so I'm spending time with them. And so I look at my week ahead for the whole week. And then every day before, I'm looking at my calendar. So it's been so much better because it's less stressful. You kind of know what to expect. And it's really helpful. The other one that it's been helpful for is even meal planning, because that was a big stressor. I'm still figuring it out, but so much better. Now I plan on the weekend and, I get the inputs from the kids on what they want to eat. Maybe, for example, make a big bowl of like vegetable salad for the week, a big fruit salad for the week. And then, if we have seafood day or I don't know, burger day, and then I can fit it in.
Yeah.
And so that, yes.
No, it's great. And my runners are used to me hearing me talk about planning the week ahead. I mean, of course, if we're training for a certain race and we have a long-term training plan, there's these long-term goals, but then from week to week, right? Like some of us have ever-changing schedules, but some of us have a routine that we're in, and no matter which one of those categories you're in, if you're looking at the week ahead, you can kind of make this work a little bit more easily for you rather than it being a struggle or wondering like, okay, I think I'm going to run, this day or this day, and then it doesn't happen if it's not in there. But I like viewing vacations like that as well. It's great.
And so it doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to get things done. It's just in the so when you're proactive, you're less stressed about it. More things get done. You don't tend to miss things. That's the one thing. I was supposed to have this meeting, and then I was supposed to pick this up, and then you forget, and then it's just reacting all week long. And so that had a difference even for my stress level. So and I'll go through the list of things that I think could be helpful. So one was being proactive. So I talked about that one. So that's a big one. And that affects everything else because, being proactive, if you're, a lot of times with self-care, there's different types of self-care. The physical, which most people know about, exercise, eating healthy, hydrating, sleeping, you still have to plan all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So planning is big. The other one that kind of affects, to me, mind and soul is me time. A lot of busy parents, I don't think we take enough time to just slow down and be with our thoughts, or shut down for a little bit and think of nothing, and that's one of the things that I've been trying to do. And you mentioned journaling. That would be a good time to journal if you wanted to, but just making sure that you're having time to yourself. I ask a lot of my patients, specifically, I talk about women because they're near and dear to my heart, as far as moms, just because we take care of others and we always put ourselves last. And a lot of the times, a lot of moms feel so guilty putting themselves first. But I always say, you can't pour from an empty cup. You got to fill up. So what we're talking about is a way to fill up your cup. So then you can be there for, those that matter to you, and, obviously for yourself as well. So yes, me time. Ideally, it would be good to have, a scheduled me time once a week, but sometimes I will tell patients, if they feel like they can't get it, then schedule, a half day. And for me, it's like a half work day, maybe 4 hours uninterrupted time by yourself a month. Start there, right?
Yeah.
I still steal time for myself during the day where it's uninterrupted, but it's nice to have it scheduled where you are away by yourself. Obviously, make sure that there's somebody there that you trust that can take care of your kids. You don't have to phone if you're, but keep your notifications off. And I always say no grocery shopping at that time. Make sure it gets done. No running errands around, just for you. And it's whatever it is you want to.
It's very hard for me too.
Yeah. The notifications off, but so it's a big deal. So once I started doing that, and obviously I do it more often, you actually look forward to it, and it's whatever you want to do. So that's a big one. The other one is, who are you surrounding yourself with? That is huge. Like, if you surround yourself with people that drain your energy and take from you, or after you've been around that person you're feeling sad or upset, that is not good. So you want to make sure that you take stock of who you allow in your space. That is so big, because there's no point in filling up your cup only to meet one person that then basically empties you out.
So true.
Yeah.
There's especially if we are physicians, right? Work is stressful enough. You don't want in your personal life to be getting drained as well.
Yes, it's one of those ones you don't really think about it, but it's a huge deal. Yeah. So that's the other one for busy professionals, I would say, is setting up boundaries. I would say personally, I was one of those people that would work 7 days a week, and you think that you're really getting a lot done, but if you're not taking time for yourself and slowing down enough to rest up and recharge, it's just, it's almost like spinning your wheels. So you got to make sure that you're setting boundaries to protect your time and to protect the time that you've scheduled from being proactive for your family, right? Mm-hmm. And so make sure that you have those times where you're working and those times when you're home. When you're at work, you work. When you're at home, be present and be there. And this is something, personally, I'm still working on, but it's so much better. And it makes a huge difference. Yeah.
So good. I took notes. So good. I was taking notes.
Good. I like that. And let me see. And then the physical one, healthy eating. I mean, we hear about it all the time. I usually mention a high protein, low carb. Make sure that you're hydrating. You want to drink at least, I usually say at least eight glasses of water a day. It's usually about half your body weight in ounces. So to keep yourself hydrated, it helps you obviously remove toxins from the body. It helps with weight loss. It just helps all around. The other big one is sleep. That time when your body gets to shut down, clean up, catalog long-term, short-term memory. If you're not sleeping, you're not at your best mentally. A lot of the times you're more likely to make mistakes the next day if you're not up to full capacity. Your growth reparative hormone, sculpting hormone, is the highest when you sleep. So you want to get that working for you. Ideal hours is, experts would say 7 to 9 hours. The magic number is 8 hours. So that's one. And so those things, and the other one, because we've talked about a whole bunch of things, right? And so then the question is, how do you fit all this stuff in?
Yeah.
How do you fit?
Well, sometimes you can probably you can get some 2-for-1s here, like if you
that's
we're gonna batch it.
I love it. So that's where habits at. But the big one is, do you have like a daily morning routine that sets you up for the day? And it may mean you have to wake up a little bit earlier. So for me, I kind of get my exercise in the morning. If I don't get it in the morning, then I will get it in when I get home. I try to at least drink a glass of water when I get out of bed, and I'm usually drinking water throughout the day. So that's how I fit it in. I usually pray. I'm Christian, so I will meditate and pray in the morning. And, I take some time to do that. And then with eating, that one is where I'm proactive. I start with what I shop for on the weekends, and it's what's available. I have my, uh, what is it called? My menu scheduled for throughout the week, and then I pack my lunch. But everybody's schedule is going to be different. I think the big things here is plan ahead, take time for yourself, protect and your space, and take care of you and your body. And that's kind of what I talked about.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways it sounds simple, but not easy. Not any of these, but we're gonna get there a little at a time.
I always say easy to do, easy not to do, right? That's the key. Yeah. So it's big.
Yeah.
But
I think for a while, I mean, while you were talking, I am thinking about when I started running, I thought that was kind of my me time, but as I have, right, like I feel like, okay, I'm taking this time to exercise and be with myself, and it is, but like to really have nothing on the calendar and have blank space, like now that is creative time for me. Like I don't, it's hard to, you can't flip a switch and just be in a creative space, whether that is for writing or for, things in my run coaching business and ideas I have for future programs. Like I really need to turn everything else off. I can't just flip a switch and get in that space. So to plan that out has been a work in progress for me, but we're getting better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the one big thing I always tell my patients is those monumental big results that you're looking for are hidden in your everyday habits. So if you want to see, if you want to get to a healthier weight, it's not what you planned on doing. What did you actually do? So look at your schedule for last week. What kind of food did you eat? What kind of activities did you do? And if you multiply that by however many, that's what you're going to be getting. So you don't build a reputation on what you were going to do, right? So so plan it and actually try to get it done.
I love that. Yeah. That's a quotable quote.
Yeah.
This is great. Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, I took so many notes, but I'll write this up and put them in the comments so everybody can have it written out. But tell us where everybody can find you, especially if they're in your local area.
So you can find us online. Our website is www.applevalleyfamilymed.com. Our phone number is 304-350-1087. We're accepting new patients at the practice. Online, I do have a podcast. It's a Weekly Dose with Dr. Ude. It's a podcast, and it also streams on YouTube. And then we have a practice page on Facebook, so Apple Valley Family Medicine.
I love it. We didn't talk about this, but I used to work in Frederick, Maryland, which is, fairly close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All world, right?
Yes. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us and for, sharing all of these wonderful nuggets with us. We appreciate it. And thanks everybody for listening. And I'll leave Dr. Ude's contact info in the comments as well. All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. If you liked it, please subscribe and share it with a friend. And if you are a newer runner or a runner who hasn't run in a while and you're looking to get back into the sport, you can find out how to work with me over on my website, which is mindful-marathon.com. See you on the next episode.